Hey guys, Lori here. So this video is going to be a little different twist. I had a patient, well I say a patient, I had a Facebook friend message me. I call them patients because once I start talking to them I feel like they are my patient. But it had to do with, I guess a couple of years ago, being put on pain meds. It wasn't opioids, it was tramadol and muscle relaxers. And she was on these drugs for a period of time and then wasn't getting any better, so decided to totally come off. And she did. And as a result, she started sleeping like so much, which totally makes sense because, for instance, pain medications work in your brain to trick your body into thinking that it's not in pain. But in reality, the pain's there. Whatever's causing the pain has not gone away. It's not a cure by any means. And then, as you know, people get addicted and just snowballs from there. Muscle relaxers do work to actually relax the muscle. But again, if your muscles are contracting, there's a reason. And just taking a muscle relaxer, while it might temporarily relieve your pain, is certainly in no way curing your body. If anything, it could be making things worse because it's inhibiting your body's ability to heal, if that makes sense. Well, anyway, so after she came off the meds, she slept, I think she said for several months, at least weeks, I can't remember exactly, just slept, which makes sense because your body's exhausted. It's been inhibited from actually doing any kind of healing. But then, and this is the problem she contacted me about, she became an insomniac and has had insomnia for 2 years and has tried taking, I guess, different meds and is on a med right now, but it's not working. Of course, sleeping pills are the same way. They work in your brain and they don't solve the problem. They don't cure you. So as I've been just seeking the Lord about what advice to give her and what I need to come back with, because her question was, could it have been the drugs that are causing her to be an insomniac? And even though she came off them for like 6 months and then the insomnia started after that. Well, the answer to the question is, I don't know. I can tell you how drugs work in your body, but how our body long term is harmed by these medications, and who knows? And I think it varies probably with individuals because everybody's a little different, you know. But back to the insomnia, and this is what came to me, is that God allows in his wisdom what he could prevent with his power. And sometimes he uses things in our life to get our attention. And this particular person is a Christian. And what I'm recommending to you is that you begin to do what we call pray into this situation. And I mean, really praying in, like banging on the doors of heaven. And there's a story down the road I'm going to share to you all about. It's called my albuterol story, back when I was using albuterol regularly for asthma. And it's just a whole testimony of how a drug can be totally making you worse. But I had to pray into what was going on with me with my asthma. This was like 10 years ago now. And I mean, when I say pray into something, I was yelling at God, literally screaming at him. And the still small voice literally said to me, "It's your inhaler." Now, that made absolutely no sense to me, especially as a pharmacist, because I knew how the drug worked in the body. I'm not going off down the albuterol trail today. However, what I'm saying is, when you pray into something, be prepared for whatever the answer is to be nothing that you're looking for, to be nothing on your radar. Just know that God is good and he wants us healed in this life. And I believe health and wholeness are attainable, but sometimes he has to dig deep. We got to go deep. And the only way to get to the root of whatever the issue is with this insomnia, I believe, is to just pray into it, even perhaps consider fasting. and continue to bang on the doors of heaven. Bang on the doors of heaven. And listen for whatever it is. Whatever it is, it may just blow your mind and you're like, oh, that can't be God. Anyway, I'm keeping this one short. I love you guys. Any questions? Another thing, one of the last video I made that had to do with the vaccine preventable diseases and the incidence of them and that kind of thing. The person emailed me back, and the lady that she'd been talking to about vaccines said, well, if we're not going to vaccinate, what do we do if our child gets one of these diseases? And I was like, that is an excellent question. So I'm going to be coming to you guys with that, with every disease we're vaccinating against. What, in the rare case that your child gets the disease, because when you look at the statistics, all of them are rare, what do you do? How do you treat it? Because that is like hugely important. We need plan B if we're not going to take up plan A. So, of injecting our children with toxins. So, informed consent. What are our options? All right. Love you guys. Talk soon.